this video we'll look at constructing pie charts, and then if you successfully manage to do that, the extension today will be interpreting pie charts. So let's have a look at this example. If there were 30 people which asked which newspapers that they read regularly, here we have a frequency table showing how many people said which was the newspaper that they read regularly. And what we want to be able to do is to draw a pie chart to demonstrate this information. So the key to drawing a pie chart is to work out the angle that you need for each person. So the way that we do this is we remember that a pie chart is a circle and the angles all the way around are 360 degrees. So to find the angle for each person, we take 360 degrees and we divide it by the total number of people. So here in the frequency table we can see that the total number of people asked was 30. So to calculate the angle for each person, we take 360 and we divide it by 30. Now remember, we don't need a calculator for this because we can work it out by simplifying the fraction. So I can divide top and bottom by 10. That gives me 36 divided by 3, and without a calculator we know that 36 divided by 3 is 12 degrees. So therefore each person is 12 degrees. So if one person is 12 degrees, to work out the number of degrees for 8 people, we need to multiply 8 by 12, which gives us 96 degrees. And we can do this for each row of the table. 7 people, 7 times 12, so that will be 84 degrees on our pie chart. 3 people will be 3 times 12 degrees, 36 degrees, and so on. 6 people is 6 times 12 degrees, so the last two sections of our pie chart will be 72 degrees. It's always a good idea to make sure that all of your degrees add up to 360. Don't worry about this little underline under the degrees symbol, that's just a little typing error. So now we've worked out how many degrees for each section of our pie chart, we need to draw the pie chart. So you'll start by drawing a nice big circle in your books. And what we're going to do there, so we draw the circle and then we'll start by drawing a radius. And it's always a good idea to start by drawing in this radius here, the one that goes straight up in the 12 o'clock position. And then usually when we do pie charts, we work our way around in a clockwise direction. So we'll measure the 96 degrees using our protractor. And then we're going to label the sectors as we go. So we then carry around for the next sector, making sure then to line our protractor up with this line, and we'll get 84 degrees for the next sector, and we label that with Daily Mail, and then we repeat all the way around for all the sectors until the pie chart is complete. You should always check the angle for the last sector that you're left with to make sure it is the number of degrees that it is supposed to be. Okay, what I want you to do now is to write this down into your exercise book. So these are the steps for calculating the angles in pie charts. First of all, add together the values in the table. Okay, by doing this, this is going to give us our total. So in the last example, that was the total number of people. Okay, to work out the angle per person, we do 360 divided by the total that we worked out in the first step. And then the angle for each group is the angle per person times by the number in the group. So just pause the video and finish writing that down. Okay, now I want everybody to find the constructing pie charts sheet, and you're going to have a go at working out the angles and constructing 4 pie charts. No calculators needed for this. You will need a protractor. It will be easier if you can print the sheet to write on, but don't worry, if you can't print the sheet, you will need to copy and complete the frequency tables in your exercise book, and you will also need to draw your own circle. So you can either use some compasses or you can just get something that's the correct size, that's circular, to draw around. Now, some tips to remember when you are measuring the angles in your pie charts. Okay, read the correct scale on the protractor. Okay, if your angle in your table is less than 90 degrees, make sure that your angle on your pie chart looks less than 90 degrees. The same, if your angle in your table is more than 90, make sure it looks more than 90. And the second tip that I've just said before, when you get to the final sector, measure it. Is it the number of degrees that it should be according to your table? Okay, I want you to pause the video now and complete the 4 constructing pie charts questions. When you finish those, you can come back to the video to look at the next example and to try some hyper challenge questions. So pause the video now, do your constructing pie charts questions. Okay, if you've finished your constructing pie charts, we're going to have a look at interpreting pie charts. So here's an example. We've been given a pie chart with a key. What fraction of the drinks sold were soft drinks? So we can see our sector that's soft drinks here. So we need to actually measure that and work out how many degrees that is. So if we measure that, I've measured it and I've worked out that it's 60 degrees. So to turn that into a fraction, what we need to do is we need to remember that the number of degrees in our pie chart is 360. So the fraction that is soft drinks is 60 degrees out of 360 degrees. That gives us our fraction, which we can simplify. So let's divide numerator and denominator by 10, and then let's divide numerator and denominator by 6, and we get that 1/6 of the drinks sold were soft drinks. This question wants to know what percentage sold were tea. So again, we need to measure or work out how many degrees were tea in our pie chart, and then we need to turn that into a percentage. So remember, turning it into a percentage means, first of all, we turn it into a fraction. So it's 210 degrees out of 360 degrees, and then you can use a calculator for this one. So to turn a fraction into a percentage on a calculator, remember we multiply by 100. So I'm just going to pop that into my calculator, 210 over 360 as a fraction, and then times that by 100 and turn it into a decimal. It gives me 58.3 recurring percent. So that's how we get a percentage from our pie chart. But it all stems from having the number of degrees as a fraction out of 360 and then working out your fractional percentage. You can now have a go at the hyper challenge, the interpreting pie charts questions.